I am Amadine Ogbewe. Now we'll take some special reports on Nigeria's history and trajectory in the area of politics and economy.
Since 1960 that Nigeria got her independence, the economy has been faced with diverse challenges, bewildering the development of the nation. In time past, agriculture accounted for over 75% of foreign exchange earnings, 68% of gross domestic products, and created employment opportunities for about 65% of the population. As oil exploration got profitable in the 70s, agriculture began to lose its prized position. Dr. Emeka Okengu, an economist, scores Nigeria as a growth in process, stressing that the government officials act in line with the provision of the constitution.
Development is usually not a very straight path. It's fraught with challenges, it's fraught with difficulties, if you may. But what is important is that if you have the focus and if you have a goal that is predetermined, the challenges now become stepping stones. What is subsisting is the Constitution of Nigeria and the governance of Nigeria. And we are guided by the provisions of our Constitution. So whatever Mr. President is doing, has to be, along those laid down principles. If the question is he adhering to the provisions of a law, that he swore onto, I would say to you, yes, he is.
In a divergent view, Chief Patrick Osagi terms Nigeria's economic growth process as degrading.
As a country, Nigeria, we're not doing very well, and it's not far-fetched if you want to know why we're not doing well, because we are spending so much money in trying to, provide a very comfortable lifestyle for politicians who are supposed to be those who are contributors to the society, not consumers. And then they left us as distributors. We are not distributors, all right? And the politicians shouldn't be the consumers. The politicians have not helped us. I do not like military. I am a Democrat. But the military have done so well in the past, because in the military era, if anyone is stealing, it has to be the general. But in democracy, everyone is stealing from the cookie jar. That's why we're having a problem. The banks are not also doing us well. The banks have become daylight robbers. All they know is to take your money, COT, and every other charges from you, stamp duties and all that, No country grow without the assistance of the banking industry. All right, and we had so many times that they want to invest in agriculture. The money doesn't get to the downtrodden. All right, the politicians, they scheme us and share the money. Right, I don't know how we're going to get out of this quagmire. We're in trouble in Nigeria.
Some Nigerians in the streets of Abuja also had a thing to say as regards the economic crisis.
Concerning Nigeria economy is appealing, so to say. No improvement, no growth. I can say we are crawling because everything getting worse every day. No improvement. The GDP and every other thing, they are nothing to write home about. If you look at the society today, so many people are dying because of the economy. High cost of living, high cost of essential things. Past government policy that they have been implemented, they are not those ones that are really affecting the economy. Instead, they are making the economy to be worse.
I will say that from the onset, some of the needs we used to meet before are not being met now, again, as we used to meet them before.
Most of the farmers cannot go to farm, you understand? And the higher rate of commodities, whether by chemicals, what I'm trying to tell you is that being farmers to purchase fertilizer, modern techniques in terms of agriculture, you understand? Those are things that government have to look at it, so that it should try to help the farmers so that farmers can go to farm. It will make the economy of the country to improve. People are crying. People are suffering. And we have been hearing that government are doing this, but we are not seeing it. People are not seeing it.
Following the subsidy removal policy by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, experts analyze the ripple effects it has had on Nigerians.
There are two ways to look at removal of subsidy. Okay, first is to say, do you keep paying for what you keep consuming, what would have helped you to get your life to the second stage? As important as fuel is, there are also contending frontiers that the monies that were being put into, making certain that we could get fuel cheap, okay, could also solve. Hospitals, schools, security, road infrastructure, energy, okay, a lot of other critical factors that were beginning to suffer because we were fixated on making certain that the masses are able to buy fuel at very cheap cost. Now, but the argument, there are two arguments to it. Argument number one is, were the masses really getting the fuel, okay, at a cost, or was the fuel subsidy benefiting those? Okay, how many people run ACs as a masses? How many masses have more than one or two cars? That's one part of the argument. The other part of the argument is that the subsidy was basically the only thing that Nigerians, were enjoying as privileges from their government. Okay, that was the only social intervention, if you may, technically, that masses were getting. So for me, instead of removing it, there would have been more innovative ways of making certain that you do not remove and then throw those people who needed to be helped. Because in removing that subsidy now, yes, you've been saving more money, has been announced. Yes, you have more money to do more infrastructure. But what is happening is that a lot of people are falling into depression. A lot of our people are suffering. A lot of people are dying. A lot of youths, a lot of people are losing jobs. I do not believe that we are subsidizing anything, because you do not subsidize what you don't produce. Subsidy mainly, if you understand subsidy well, is to help production and to be given to those who are producing so that their final outputs are cheaper and affordable. What we were doing in Nigeria was not to pay subsidy. What we were doing, okay, was to pay what they call price differential.
Nigerians eat organic food, and we have the ability to produce organic food. We need to become a country that it's not just about consumption, all right, but a country that will be exporting things, so that we can gain value on a naira. Now you cannot have different exchange rate from different people and for different category. All right, it's only a country you have exchange rate for people who are going to Mecca to go and pray. How many times does the Mecca people come to Nigeria and pray? Why don't we make Nigeria to be attractive so that the Muslim faithful in Mecca can come here too, who can cash in? Only here, as Christian faithful, we go to Israel on a different foreign exchange rate. Why can't the Israelis come here too and worship with us? It's not one God, right? That can save our foreign exchange, all right? Only here, you give Dangote an exclusion. You give him like trillions waiver. You call him a billionaire on the expense of the poor. Nigeria is blessed with the human resources, with mineral resources, with any ramification. You can think that's a blessing from Almighty God or Almighty Allah. But it's the people who govern us that's the problem. Otherwise, Nigeria has no business with poverty.
To build back the economy and grow the country's gross domestic product, there is need for the government to diversify the economy and build the country's forex reserves. Victoria Ayorinde, Kaftan TV News.